Mr. James Asare-Adjei, what or where do you see the chances and challenges of globalization for Africa?
I think the chances of globalization for Africa are numerous. You have a situation where it allows investment flow, and again, it opens up the economy, to a lot of businesses. Definitely, what we're looking for is to be able to learn, from what is happening in other parts of the world. Now, because globalization has really made the world as a global village. Now, what happens here is that you have investors who would then be interested in your economy. If I really use Ghana as a typical example, the current government is looking at initiatives, of industrialization, and that really attracts investment. It also offers a lot of capacity building, technology transfer, where you don't need to reinvent the wheel. But then you have a situation where people have done it in the developed economies like Germany, and hence globalization is really bringing companies that have really learned the ropes here to Africa or to Ghana, and you just take that advantage to also expand capacities. Of course, there are some challenges, and here we are talking about where companies or businesses in Ghana, for example, or in Africa in general, don't have the capacities to compete. Now, globalization brings about stiff competition, and hence they need to be able, in some cases, either they are fragile companies, and hence they'll fold up. Globalization also, in some sense, takes away your sovereignty, so you can't close yourself up to what is happening to the outside world. But of course, it's very good because it has helped a lot of countries in Africa to democratize, because you have, those who have done it elsewhere looking at what you are doing and correcting you. So invariably, there are great opportunities that go with globalization, and some challenges also that come along with globalization.
Why should foreign or German companies invest in Africa?
Africa now is an emerging economy. It's a new frontier. You see that it is not the same as 2 decades or 3 decades ago. African countries, many of them are becoming a lot more democratic. Rule of law and the stability. Now, if you take Ghana, in the past a quarter of a century, about 25 years, we have gone through 7 successive elections. So we see stability, we see peace, you see, and hence, if German companies, invest in Ghana, it offers a regional hub. What happens is that when you are investing in Ghana, you are not only looking at the 28 million population, but you are looking at a bigger sub-regional 350 million plus population. Ghana has the resources, the natural resources. We have the human resource, probably average age, of about 15 years, cheaper human resource, and hence labor force in particular, and also the natural resources, like I said. So I believe that German companies can take advantage of all these opportunities, and where the government is transparent, okay, and then making sure that we reduce all the bottlenecks of doing business, then I think it's the right time for German businesses to really come to Africa.
In a nutshell, how can the economic partnership agreement between Africa and the EU help to facilitate partnerships between African, German or other European companies?
The EPAs, when it first came to the attention of the business community in Ghana, it was a difficult thing because, some sections of the private sector was really against the implementation or the EPA. Others also are saying that, look, all that we have is a European market. So if you are going to have a market which is going to be opened to us 100%, if we are going to have quota-free, tax-free, then definitely it is a good thing. So I believe that Ghanaian companies, and for that matter, other companies in the sub-region who are ascribing to the EPA, can take advantage of the fact that, one, we have full access to the European market. We have even a certain point in time what we call technology transfer. We don't need to reinvent the wheel, but we can partner, stronger businesses either in manufacturing, in agribusiness, or maybe sometimes in mining and infrastructure, such that such sort of capacities, financing, technology, and in some cases capacity building, can be brought to bear, to grow our local businesses. Let me say quickly that what Africa needs now is not aid, but trade and investment. And hence, if we have partners in Germany or other European countries, then definitely we think that is a huge opportunity that we cannot miss. So the EPA is really a tool or an initiative that Ghanaian companies and also other African companies should really take advantage of.